And we are back. Welcome back. Now, before we say or do anything else, what I want to know right now is what is the immediate response to the battle? What is the immediate, like, what is your first reaction, each of you, as the battle ends? And I'm actually going to start with Maven. So Jen, as the fight ends, what is your, as you, I assume, come out of rage?
I would have to come out of rage.
What is your very first reaction to the end of the battle?
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Everyone's all right. Oh my. Don't think they're all right. Oh, great mountain. This is distressing, and I do believe I've gotten a little bit mussed and bloody.
A section of the bloodstain is going to get licked by the giant badger.
Oh.
How about Del? What's Delmain's reaction to this little scuffle?
I feel like Del is going to try to get the group back together because of the fog. You said we could only see like 10 feet.
Yeah, so you'll be able to pull back together pretty quick. Yeah,
I'll echolocate. Del doesn't seem like too stressed out about it, but is going to find Charlotte.
Charlotte is making noise. She's currently still laughing, trying to get the laugh under control.
Okay. Del is going to start by pumping 15 hit points back into Charlotte.
Ooh, thank you. So yeah, if we're going to Charlotte now, I think Charlotte needs to make a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm. As that is all happening, Calder will facilitate.
Oh.
No, this is going to be important. So let's talk about what happens here.
Like Del would like help you get up off the ground is the intention, and we'll put the heals into you for that.
She's standing. She's like like trying to you can see she's in the process of trying to stop her laughter, but before I say what her reaction is to you healing her, what is Calder doing in the immediate? You said you were flying over to the Jeff?
Moser?
So what is Calder doing in the, because I noticed he moved across.
He is checking on his pets.
Okay. And he's still like 60 feet up and then came down?
Yeah, he's still at elevation. He's just making sure they're okay and not injured.
Okay. So yeah, I think because you have to touch for lay on hands, right?
Yes.
As Delmain reaches out to touch, you can definitely see it's Charlotte's leg that took that, one of her arms took a bite and her leg took the claws, and so she doesn't seem to be reacting to that pain, and your magic hits and it takes and it closes the wounds, but Charlotte's still laughing and doesn't seem to really care about stopping laughing quite yet. You do notice now that you're this close in the fog that her eyes, her sclera are kind of a swirl of rainbow, but they almost seem to be glowing at this moment.
This laughter is going to be loud enough to where I'm going to say anybody who wants to be part of the scene should be part of the scene.
I mean, yeah, I definitely am going to be coming up. Miss Charlotte, are you very much all right?
Can I make an insight check?
That sounds like a great plan, yeah.
I think it'll just be against her passive. So yeah.
That's a 27.
Okay.
What information are you looking for with the insight check?
I want to know what's causing the laughter.
I think Del in particular, what is just your modifier to Arcana?
Oh, it's flat.
Okay.
But I know a lot of extraplanar bullshit.
Yeah. I think you can recognize that Charlotte is not possessed at the moment, but it's not Charlotte entirely in control at the moment.
But she's trying to get her like giggles under control.
I think she was right up until you healed her, and now she's just like doubled over, like, laughing. And
Are we talking like giggle laughing, or are we talking like villain laughing? Are we talking like evil laugh, or just like I
think-
can't stop thinking of something funny?
Joker
laugh?
toxin victim laugh.
I think it's more of the like when you're laughing so hard it stops making sound. Like she's, it's almost sounding painful how much she's laughing right now, and kind of trying to get her breath under control again.
Let me know if this seems like fair. I think Dell would be able to recognize an extra planar influence on Charlotte at this point in time.
Yeah.
And I am going to channel divinity observe the extra planar. So I am going to turn the extra planar entity in Charlotte. The power of Christ compels you. Like that's
Like you would turn undead a ghost out of her. Yeah.
Yeah. So technically, what this does mean is that the entity would have to make a wisdom saving throw to be turned.
I'm going to narrate this. Let's let you two decide how this goes.
I was going to say that this might be a way that you could get another wisdom save to keep that shit together.
Yeah, I'll take that. And I actually think like Swoops was staying on Calder's head and came over and is now seeing Charlotte like this. And I think Swoops leaves Calder's head and like goes up and like literally like climbs onto Charlotte and like bites her ear really hard to try to aid her in kicking the dude out. So if you allow me, DM, to make the roll at advantage.
Yeah,
as an unrelated moment, Swoops also has to make the save.
Oh, how many people can you target?
All
in Charlotte's head, or
If it's like
as
turn
you
on
said,
that,
each as aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend within 30 feet of you that can hear you has to make the save.
Yeah, Swoops has to make the save. Let me pull up Swoops. Just a wisdom save.
It's a wisdom saving throw. Yes,
I
I think he fails it. I'm pretty sure.
And then I get
my channel divinity.
advantage.
Oof, that advantage really helped you out there.
Yeah. So I think it's just like turn undead, right? He doesn't poof,
Yeah.
he just has to fly away.
Yeah, it's just a 1 minute goodbye.
All right, so he
They're-
flies over, bites your ear, your thing goes off, and he just fucking takes off.
It can't willingly end its move within in a space within 30 feet of me.
There, yeah. He gains altitude.
Fine.
And
Yeah.
Charlotte stops laughing. Sorry about that.
I produce like a little bit of water. Perhaps this will help you with your throat. I can't imagine that was good for you.
And she takes it, drinks it. Is everyone all right?
I think so. Are you?
I took a hit there at the end.
A little bit of a wind picks up.
you got bitten. You were bitten.
I was bitten. That's concerning.
Well, I mean, where wolf orcs?
I think so.
What they were.
Yes. And Charlotte actually like moves forward to the closest corpse, kneels down, and like she pulls out a vial and starts like getting blood into it.
Yep.
Working it and putting it in her bag.
Do we have to worry about you turning into a werewolf orc.
Well, that's always not an orc, but lycanthropy
I'm not
is
really sure the
contagious.
entire rules, but
I mean,
You won't know until the next full moon, regardless.
well, I mean, I could check tonight if we take a break somewhere, but
do we have the time to check?
well,
We should
it's
move
not
on.
the full moon for a while, so I don't think it's an immediate problem.
The wind picks up a little bit more.
Am I getting any feedback from the other familiars as well, as they are still flying around the immediate area?
Right. No. At the moment, they are still flying patrol and not noticing anything unusual.
Mr. Dalmain, you're the main guide of this expedition. What do you think about resting versus continuing?
There's,
I mean,
like I said earlier, there's always a chance that if we rest for an extended period of time, the hut will move again.
I had remembered you mentioning that.
Calder notices it first. There is a space where the fog is being blown aside by the wind, and he'll be the first to notice that it's actually forming a corridor as everyone's talking to each other. Like it's like a clear corridor opens in the fog, leading deeper into the woods.
I believe we are being invited.
Oh,
Is that what all that wind is about?
Yes, it's forming a gate. A corridor, really.
Well,
I don't suppose it's only polite if
to
we...
accept an invitation? Usually.
Enemy of my enemy, and we just killed a bunch of werewolves that were looking for it, so...
The wind dies down, but the corridor remains intact.
we should go.
Lead on. And Charlotte will follow, but she will start spam casting over the next minute her free cast of Mage Armor to get her ward back up to full.
So it's going to be another roughly hour on foot. Now, I have not been really keeping track very closely, but we're probably coming up on mid to late evening at this point.
Mhm.
I think that seems fair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
Once
sure
we
I can
get-
go back and watch the footage later and find out exactly how long it's been, if it really matters. But
I think it's like, if we left mid-morning, it's probably anywhere between 5 to 7 in the evening.
so the woods get denser and the fog gets thicker to the point where you're just walking down an almost featureless, by the end, an almost featureless corridor of gray. And the fog and the trees open up into a clearing. And the first thing you notice in this clearing is towering above you is this massive, irregular, cabin-like structure. And it's a good solid, I'm going to have to double check, but it's a good solid 150 feet tall, standing on massive chicken legs. So first thing you notice, that's a house on chicken legs. Second thing you notice is that it is not sitting still. It's kind of rocking back and forth a little bit. And about 100 feet away from you into the clearing, this is a fairly large clearing, about 100 feet away is a fence, like a gate, or a fence made of bones, circling the hut. All of the sounds of wildlife are silent, and there isn't a breath of wind in this space.
My God.
Okay. I'm gonna look around for the gate.
Are you sort of moving toward it as you look around, or are you staying around the edge of the clearing?
We're here to talk to the house. And
Yep, totally.
at least we can get inside the fence. Yeah, I'll look for a gate, walk around it.
Okay. So as you kind of get closer, the fence seems to be constructed of bleached bone. It is about 5 feet tall, and it's marked by a large number of 10-foot tall skull-topped poles spaced at even intervals. This is box text, by the way. The sockets of each skull hold flickering purple flames. A wide gate, currently closed, leads into the yard beyond the fence, with a giant-sized skull resting atop the gate, staring at you with empty eyes. In the clearing beyond the fence sits the hut. It appears to be in the dead center of this morbid perimeter.
Hey, Kozan.
What? What? Who knows my name? Who's out there?
Godan, I know you can see.
Mm.
You're fantastic at your job, first of all. So don't give me the shtick.
Delmain.
Yes.
You here again?
Yeah.
After what happened last time?
After what happened last time, yes. I brought
Of all the arrogant.
I brought some friends and my brother.
Hello.
Hi. Very nice to meet you.
We're here to see grandmother.
If you would be so kind.
He'll look over at Calder, and he'll say, "Your collar's rumpled. Look at that."
Calder will cast prestidigitation, and it'd be perfectly clean and coiffed and everything.
Oh, and falling back on magic to do all your work for you. I don't know. I don't think this group is worth it. Do you really think that the grandmother's going to want to see these people?
I would never waste. Waste my talents on anything trivial. I believe looking one's best before grandmother is an excellent use of my power.
I ruffle his hair. He's fine. He's still getting used to not fully being in charge of everything. But Conan, really, this would be a really big solid for me. And listen, I can probably help you out a little bit later if you need it.
How could you possibly help me? He's got that boisterous, like he's the most important person in the world, even though you're pretty sure all he does is open and close the gate.
He does a good job at his job, okay? There's some werewolves running around.
Yes.
But we managed. I figured you would know, but
they're not the first. To get rid of them. He'll kind of tilt his skull over, and you'll see
skulls in the fence from them.
I'm sorry?
I said, do you have any skulls in the fence from them?
Oh, no. All these skulls are old. You know that.
Yeah, but do you want any new ones? Somebody little to boss around.
No, they these ones already pretty much listen to everything I say. Oh yeah, sure we do. Shut up. You're the one that said it. Shut up. Now, what do you need with the grandmother?
General checkup for me. They have some questions about said werewolf stuff.
I brought a gift.
What gift?
Knowledge.
That is something that the grandmother prizes very, very highly.
And I bought door oil.
Immediately, his entire demeanor changes. You brought. Could you before I open the gate for you and your very kind friends? If you could apply that. It's been an absolute nuisance. You have no idea. You can hear it from the other side of the fence. The other skulls tell me.
Yeah, I know. That's why I brought it. And Dell just reaches into a bag and pulls out what.
I still don't know about that one though. And he sort of nods over at Calder. That one seems sketchy to me.
Oh no, he's a good boy. He's fine.
Dell pulls out what the audience would recognize as the oil can from the Wizard of Oz movies.
Love it.
So good.
And we'll oil the hinges. And I'm gonna put it back. I'm like, now you have to understand. I don't know how long it's going to last. This is winter as usual, but next time in the year, I'll keep it with me.
Thank you. Of course. Wow. And the gate opens and it screeches for a moment, but then like the oil works in and it like opens it up halfway and closes it, opens it up halfway and closes it. Well, thank you very much, Delmain. I appreciate it. This makes up for what you did to me last time. And he opens up the gate.
I will remember no flowers.
And allows you in to the 150-foot radius area inside the fence. Now,
Oh, Kochan, is there any plans to move soon?
I don't think so. Whatever's happening here seems to have the grandmother well fixated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Yeah.
Did you see what he did for me? He wouldn't have done that for you lot. Rabble, rabble,
Sure,
rabble,
it's
rabble,
more
rabble.
than he's done for me in decades.
I was talking to my skulls, thank you.
Well, and then I suppose you don't want these refills. I'll produce a couple of flasks of oil.
Well, let's not be hasty.
I'll set down 4 bottles because I have some. I still have some again from the first dungeon. Just like I'll set them next to this gate, so next time, so no one has an excuse that they've run out.
Well, welcome. Oh, before you go in, you're going to want to know. Getting from room to room inside, this is a thing I shouldn't be telling you, but you're being so nice to me. Getting from room to room inside, the door knock sequences have changed. There's a password and a knock sequence to get into any other rooms. And there's a lot going on in there, just so you know.
Well, we believe it.
It's, bigger on the inside. And, make your way forward. And again, the hut was massive from far away, but like up close, it is terrifyingly large.
Aren't you pretty?
Swoops is back on the back of Charlotte's collar, and the other familiars have poofed. The spell ran out a little bit ago.
The hut starts out with its back to you and kind of chunk turns its way around. And up in the top house area, there is a door that is closed. And otherwise looks like a provincial thatched hut, except, walking around on chicken legs.
Is grandmother home? Charlotte asks aloud.
I believe this is where the password comes in.
Well, she's usually home, but the real question is, do we want to camp here, or do we want to see if she's amenable to us camping inside?
Would it be considered rude to camp outside of her house?
Not necessarily. We can always ask.
If you move toward the hut, it will kind of back away slowly.
Dell will say the password. Little hut, please open your door, in the mixture of giant and common.
And the house will stop. It will face Dell, and it will crouch so that the legs essentially vanish underneath the foundation of the building, and the door will open up, exposing an inky blackness inside. There is nothing between you and the front door. And that, I think, is a great place for us to end our session on the precipice of the hut. That'll give me another couple of weeks to really make sure I understand this hut inside and out before we get to it, because there's a lot going on here. And before we move on, I do want to give a quick ahead warning to both viewers and players. The Dancing Hut module or book that I have has a lot of irrelevant plot in it that I'm going to be throwing at you. There's going to be a lot of puzzles that can get you to places that might get you weird side stories that you might or might not be able to interact with. There's a lot of randomness going to be happening in here. It's a very non-linear, in all senses of the word, area. So there will be times when you're going to spy a problem and you're either going to have to be really creative to fix it or decide it's not worth your time and not even fix it because, of course, everyone has their own motivations. So this is going to be sort of part puzzle solving, part political, part like really thinking outside the box kind of module. So
Sounds like fun.
I want to throw that out
That's
there
fun.
because I know that I don't want it to be frustrating. Does that sound okay to folks?
That sounds fun.
Sounds like fun.
Why
Excellent.
about Tumblr and
excited.
not the one whose only answer is fire?
In that case, we're going to go ahead and jump to our post-game show, and we're going to go ahead and not be able to answer some questions, but if you want to answer, or if you want to ask some questions in the chat, I bet those of us who are there, like in the chat with you, will answer them. So if you're here, if you have any questions, ask away. We will answer. Beyond that...